my name is Brett McCutcheon. I am a Slippery Rock music education major, so I'm still in school, but I compose and I songwrite on the side just for fun. My grief story is that I lost my older brother Ryan in a car accident in 2017. So I was 16 years old and he was 19 years old. And that crushed all of us. Everything became very real, and I grew up quite quickly in that instant moment. The one thing that has been constant in my life is music, and music has always been the outlet that I could take my grief and transform it into something tangible or something musical. So that's exactly what we did. 5 years ago, me and my best friend June Bracken, she's a vocalist, we made what we called The Ocean, which was an EP, a collection of 3 pop songs, which displayed the allegory of the ocean in terms of the grieving process, right? So taking that grief and describing what my grief was through music. Flash forward to today, and we decided to recreate that project on a grander scale. So musicians from the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra, voice finalist Jamison, which I love his voice, so I was happy to have him on the project. And we recreated the entire thing with a new perspective. So, flash forward 5 years, we call it The Ocean 5 Years. Here is the official documentary trailer for that, and I hope you enjoy.
Okay, so
right?
I'll keep going. I'll make you proud of me.
Yeah.
I'll make you proud of me.
Okay.
Proud
Yeah.
of me.
But then you went down.
Me.
Yeah.
Should I do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good, yeah.
Alright, so this is day 1 of journaling my thoughts about the ocean. Because everything has to be on camera, right? Everything's gotta be on camera. So what to talk about?
The first thing I was thinking when they walked in the door is that I've been conducting for like a year and composing for even less. I'm completely out of my mind, terrified. But as soon as you talk to them, they're so incredibly kind. They believe in the project.
I've witnessed Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra play a lot, and it was just astounding. The amount of times I felt chills going through my body.
Everybody was saying like, oh, you'll make Ryan proud. It's definitely something to honor him.
It was interesting even during the sessions how many musicians shared their personal stories.
There's always been that person that's been able to come up to me and share like a very similar story because everybody goes through it, like every single person. Originally starting the project over again, the reason behind that was just because there's so much to say. It wasn't necessarily, oh, let's look back 5 years. It was almost like, oh, let's just dive deeper into this subject because there's something to be said.
The first time you did the music 5 years ago, I had much more of a visceral reaction when I would hear it. When the symphony was in the studio and I was hearing live strings and live horns and hearing all that come together brought a lot of that emotion back.
It just crushes me. I keep trying. It's been therapy for you, so that makes me happy. And you've worked very hard every moment that you could have had through all these years.
At what point did you become the older sibling and realize that I was always proud? It's been 5 years and you don't look the same.
I lost my brother when I was 16, and he was my older brother at 19 years old. Like, I'm 21 now. By the time this releases, I'll be 22. So I'll be 3 years older than him. And that's such a weird concept for me to wrap my head around. You have to stop living through another person. I can't be the younger brother forever. The last text that I've had with Ryan, he said, "I'm proud of you." What more do I need than that? So I need the people around me, the students I have, the friends and family that I have, to know that they should be proud of themselves. And that's a big purpose of this project. The grieving process never ends.
So just briefly talking about the music and each song in particular, we start with the intro, which is present me looking back 5 years. Everything should be at this point sunshine and rainbows, but we realize that it's not, right? The grieving process never ends. Even though we think that we'll get to a point where it does, it never actually does. However, there are new beginnings, and that's what I've found 5 years, is actually 6 years after the grieving process. After in quotations, because it doesn't end. Then we go to the song Sinking, which is the first initial stages of grief. So we have denial, we have bargaining, we have disbelief, a little bit of anger, loneliness.
When you left today, I told myself that you'd just gone away. So I'm waiting here, there's no way that you could just disappear. But you're not here, and I'm left to face my greatest fear, that there's nothing I could do but forget the memories of me and you.
And then we transition quickly into The Bottom. The Bottom is a special song for me because it really transforms my dark emotions of loneliness and looking up at like the waves of the ocean, and the world is like passing over you at the time that you're just stuck at the bottom of the ocean. So transforming that thought and idea into music, I feel like, is a very relatable thing for people going through the grieving process.
Keeps getting further. It's moving without me. Don't see the light no more down here.
The fourth song is Floating. So this is a more hopeful song. It builds everyone up at the same time and says, yes, I can get through this because I have the people, I have the resources, and I have the support around me to make my brother proud and to make myself proud. And then finally, we flash forward 5 years into The Shore, which is now what? Where do we pick up on our grief now that the grieving process still hasn't ended? Well, there are new beginnings, right? And I take that grief and I live my life along with that grief with more content than I had in the past. Music has been an extremely cathartic thing for me. It's been healing, it's been something that has been constant, and it's something that if you do it with other people and you create music or you perform music with other people, it can be extremely inspirational and it can build everybody up around you. It's part of why I want to be a music educator, is because we can take these experiences and these communal ideas and experience them together and connect with more people. At the end of the day, this idea of grief feels very lonely. It feels like nothing good will ever happen again at times, and knowing that other people are going through a similar thing can be a very healing thing, to talk to people or to have that musical outlet, or it could be art, it could be anything, but for me it's been music, and finding an outlet to take that grief and put it somewhere has been extremely healing for me over the years. Thank you for listening to my story. If you want to check out Where the Ocean 5 Years is, it's on all streaming platforms, and then the documentary will be around a 45-minute documentary, and it'll be out soon. So stay tuned for that. I appreciate you listening, and thank you so much to the Highmark Caring Place for having me speak at this event.